Hey, what's up, Flash fans? This is the Confire Crew, and we're here to talk about The Flash, episode 16. We've had a little break, and it's finally come back, and we're here to talk about a couple of our favorite moments. Let me get over to my notes because, I'm way off right now. Okay. 6 favorite moments. That's what we're going to be rolling with this morning. I'm Confire Rich.
I'm Confire Nate, and the first top moment I want to talk about is the whole training situation. At the beginning, they're constantly working on getting Barry faster, because Zoom just beats him to pieces. I mean, Zoom he's not even close to being the same speed as Zoom, and they're like, listen, you got to get faster, you got to get stronger, we got to train you. And the whole first thing, the whole jumping, the whole Barry
Evil
Knievel
Yeah.
references. And stuff like that was kind of fun, and that was the first part I liked a lot.
I always like training. I like training. I wish we got a little bit more, where they kind of went a little bit more in depth about him getting faster, because those are always cool when he learns new abilities and he can do new things because he's actually been working. I find it really cool. When he fell off the mountain, I was just kind of like, well, we know he's not going to die. I'm just like, I guess he heals. Maybe he's going to beat up real bad. No, he flies up and Cisco's back with the little drones. He's just like, oh, Cisco, why'd you pack those drones up? You're welcome, everybody. So that was my favorite moment. Number 2 is moving into Cisco. Look, we've had a break. We missed Cisco. We needed him back. And, he comes back. He cracks a joke. They end up going to the club. And that just cracked me up, that scene. He was like, I know I'm like your brother, and I'm half the size of Jay, but you want to dance? And then he's just out there. He's like bobbing his head all over the place. And I don't know. It was just it was a good way to get Cisco back and have a little fun with the show.
Yeah, I like that too. I mean, there's kind of cool when they're in the club and stuff like that. It was kind of neat. Get Jessie out of her element. She's kind of locked in there with her dad. She got to be out there, kind of doing some stuff. And it was kind of interesting, just her being there, and then her dad putting like the most unbelievable like tracking device,
Right.
on her arm, like beeps. It was kind of interesting because it's supposed to be like a metahuman. I thought that's what that thing was. It's supposed to like alert you to metahumans. I thought it was funny when she went to shake Wally's hand that it went off.
Yeah, I mean, I know we had 2 metahumans next to her, in Cisco and Barry, but the way they made it seem like he has something. I thought that was interesting as well.
Or he will eventually have some. I don't know. Either way, it was kind of neat. I thought that was kind of cool. But then that all gets broken up, which goes into my top moment number 3, which was the fact that we have another Flash, except it's a female Flash, and they're going to call her Trajectory. And she comes in there and she does what probably most people would do when they got super speed powers, is she robs everybody. She just knocks them all out, takes their wallets, and just bolts. And of course, no one knows there's any other, so they're just immediately like, it's the Flash. It must be the Flash.
Yeah,
and like you have this whole sequence later where you have Iris's boss being like, it's the Flash. We need to get this. That kind of like
J. Jonah Jameson.
Yeah, exactly. That like editor
Spider-Man, yeah.
Kind of thing with the Flash. Like, we need to get this, we need to get that. And that whole situation took place. So I like being introduced to new characters, and the fact that of course Cisco's like, we finally got a female speedster. After 2 years, we got a female speedster. So just those moments I like.
When she popped up on the scene and she was so much faster than Barry, the first thing I put down on my notes, I was just like, why the freak is everybody faster than Barry Allen? Like, everybody, if they're a speedster
guy ever,
they're faster than he is. They kind of go on to explain that later on in the episode, and I'm thankful for that, because I was starting to get concerned. I was like, is this the slow kid in class? If he goes to a school of speedsters, like, is Barry going to be coming in last place all the time?
Well, and the drug, that's kind of interesting. I thought about this too. Is like, she basically reverse engineered and made that drug herself.
Right.
The same one that she used with back when Jay needed it, back when he was there on Earth 1.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering, in that moment when Jay was rescuing those 2 people out of that building, was he faster than the Flash in that moment? I mean, you don't know, but it's just, I wonder if that chemical actually makes you that much faster. But just the introduction of the chemical brought up a very interesting story, which was the fact that Barry's like, why did you guys tell me about this? I've been using this the whole
Hmm.
time, and they're like, it's got mad side effects. It will kill you.
Yeah, it basically means death. You'll get hooked and kill you like meth. It's the speedsters version of meth, of
Yeah.
crack or something. Now here's the interesting part. And this is my favorite moment, number 4. And I say favorite moment because it was something really tiny and small, and it didn't really mean anything. But I just enjoyed it, and that's when the speedster, hit Wales' daughter in the neck with the formula to test it out. And she's just like, going, and it was like she needs a transfusion. What's her blood type? And I think he said something like BC negative, and
Yeah.
and Cisco was like, we have nothing like that here. And I don't know. I just thought it was really cool. I thought it was, something nice that they tossed in to change things up a little bit, and it makes
Yeah,
you
they
think like, they got different blood type. That makes sense. And luckily Wells was there with the same blood type.
Yeah,
To
they constantly remind us. That's kind of like the interesting thing. Like, I think there was one point in the episode where you had her listening to like Beyonce, and she was like Beyonce. Like there's moments where they point out that they are on separate worlds. There's similarities, but then there's these weird differences, like blood types, the names of these blood types. Things like
right.
that, which I think is kind of cool. Again, it just kind of reminds you that. But then eventually Barry's got to take this girl down, man, and she's interesting because she's like you said, the reverse version of this chemical is causing her to almost have like this almost split personality, and become kind of crazy. So she just wants to get faster. She needs her next fix, like very much like drugs and stuff, and it's causing her to kind of do all these crazy things, and it sets up Barry for a moment, where he has to basically make the jump that he couldn't make at the beginning in his little training montage. And he does, and he knocks her out, and he tries to talk to her and be like, hey, listen, you don't have to do this. She doesn't want none of it. She hits her next fix and she takes off. And that is the moment that is number five for me. And that is when she actually moves so fast that she evaporates. It's almost like her cells are breaking down and she disappears. And I think it's kind of interesting because in the comics, there are times where characters will do this, but it's not that they actually are dead. It's that they are basically turning into pure speed force. So it gives the possibility that she
Like her
could come back.
molecules are still there.
Right.
Kind of like
she
in
could be
Willy Wonka when they
reconstruction.
like take them into little bits and they transfer them over.
Right. So she becomes one with the speed force, kind of like, but then there's still a possibility that any character who does that could potentially come back. So that's something to think about.
Okay, well that's interesting because I was just like, man, that's kind of just cold. Like they just evaporated this chick. The interesting thing from it was that she did start to turn blue, and Barry's like starts to get these ideas like, yo, her flames are turning blue, or her lightning is turning blue like Zoom, which kind of goes into our last favorite moment, and that is they realize or they think that Zoom is Jay. Cisco's been having these visions this whole time, and it's when he touches the helmet, and they're, Zoom is sick, which I didn't think about and didn't know about the fact that Zoom's sick. He's looking for a cure, so he's taking this same drug, and they start to realize it. Now, Nate, we had said before that Earth One's version of Jay is actually Zoom. So do you think that's still the case, or do you think Jay Garrick, the one that we've been introduced to, is Zoom?
No, I still think what we said originally was the case. I think the thing is that they're perceiving this the way they can perceive it. Okay, they aren't thinking about the guy that they met on that. Basically, Caitlin and Jay met on Earth One. He's not even in their mind right now. Okay, they're thinking of,
Right.
okay, we know one Jay Garrick, and now you're saying Jay Garrick Zoom. So the whole sequence where he basically, pulled him through and killed him had to have been another trick, kind of like what the Reverse Flash in season 1, because they know that. They've seen that. But for us, fans who watch the show, we actually see that moment where he's carrying Jay's body. Okay,
Right.
we see that on the other side. That's not a double flash. Okay, that is a actual person. So I'm still pretty sure that the Jay Garrick that we have known has been talking with them and being friends with them. He's dead.
And plus,
Okay.
every time that we saw Jay Garrick, like when he went and rescued those people out of the building, when we did see him be the Flash and get his speed back, there wasn't blue lightning. It
Right.
was
That's
normal.
what
So
I mean.
it doesn't seem like something you can suppress. Like, you know what? I'm not going to have blue lightning this time. So, I mean, I don't know. It's still,
I think it's their version of how they see it, but I still think I'm still sticking true to what I believe is what basically is that Jay Garrett, the Jay Garrett from Earth One, which is Hunter Zolomon, is Zoom. The Jay Garrett from Earth Two, which was Jay Garrett, is now killed by him, and they just don't realize all that yet. But
Okay,
they'll
well,
figure it out eventually.
it was cool. I mean, it was a cool. You know, it wasn't a grand episode to come back on. I didn't feel like, especially with the reveal that we got last time, and they just kind of like went to this female Flash and.
But they gave us something, the whole Blue Lightning thing. Okay,
Yeah, I
like,
mean,
that's
it
a big
ended
deal.
up
Like,
great. I mean, we got
learned
good
about
tidbits,
that.
but overall, with the villain, because he didn't even really fight this, this chick, and I don't know, it just a little underwhelming for them to come back after a break. I felt like, although I did like the end when Barry's like, I gotta leave, he goes back to the canyon and he does his his Super Saiyan, just he's all amped up, but I don't know. Oh, it was okay episode. I wanted a little bit more, but hey, I really like the show. And we did get some good elements from it. Now, one question for you guys is, we had the female speedster. She was stealing stuff. And it made me think, what would you do if you had the ability of the Flash? All of his abilities. I literally think about this at work. Sometimes I'm like, you know what? If I had Flash's ability, do you know how fast I could get done with my work? Like I could be done in no time, and I could just chill for the rest of the day. But I don't know, man. Down in the comment section below, let us know if you had the Flash's ability in your daily life. What would you do, and how would you use that power? I think it'd be pretty cool. Look, subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Like the video and all that good stuff. And until next time, guys, we're out.
See ya.